I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this one. Hello everyone, I have returned once again to share my gospel. Today we're touching down on a topic which I've been sort of ignoring for the past 2-ish years. My national park tier list. To those of you who haven't seen a tier list series yet, I went through all 63 designated US national parks and rated them on a tier list. If you don't want to get spoiled on my opinions, I would stop here and go watch the entire series. The playlist is linked in the description. I'll be waiting for you when you come back. Welcome back. We've totally not been talking smack behind your back. With everyone on the same page, here's my original tier list. We've got some truly beautiful examples of nature as well as some stinkers. As I've said in the series, most parks have some inherent value, which makes them special in their own way. So today, after waiting 2 years for this moment, I have decided to give an update to the tier list. Unfortunately, most of my placements are still rock solid, so there won't be any radical changes to the list. I will simply use this video to discuss some of the parks which I've recently visited. Don't worry though, I do have some adjustments that will make this video worthwhile. Like my last video, I would like to keep this video as short as possible. Therefore, I don't want to ramble on any longer. As always, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Enough lollygagging. Let's get into this. Let's start with the biggest and baddest of the bunch, Grand Canyon National Park. Arguably the most famous national park behind Yellowstone. Grand Canyon has often been regarded as one of the natural wonders of the world. With all the prestige surrounding this park, it's safe to say that my expectations were sky high. So, the question remains, did Grand Canyon meet my expectations? For the first day I was there, it sadly didn't. I had to visit the park in March, therefore the weather was cold, windy, and very cloudy. Visibility was near zero and almost the entire canyon was surrounded by a thick layer of clouds. I went to bed that day feeling very disappointed. Thankfully, that was not my only day at the park. I was desperately hoping that visibility would improve on the next day. In an incredible stroke of luck, the clouds cleared and I got an amazing view of the entire canyon. Seeing it for the first time was an experience that I will never forget. Additionally, there was a hefty layer of snow covering the top layers of the canyon, so I got a unique view that most people will never get to see. I left the canyon that day feeling incredibly satisfied. The Grand Canyon National Park is still a solid S tier. The next park on the chopping block is the newest national park in the country, believe it or not. New River Gorge National Park and Preserve in the glorious state of West Virginia. My expectations going into this park were that of cautious curiosity. I knew that I wasn't going to see anything mind-blowing, but I've underestimated parks in the past. Did New River Gorge meet my expectations? Yes. It met my expectations exactly. Didn't go below it, but it also didn't go above it. It's a chill park, I guess. It has a cool bridge which is apparently taller than the Statue of Liberty. Doesn't look like it from the park, but heights can be deceiving in person. Other than that, it's only okay. I wouldn't recommend seeing this park before any of the other parks above it. However, if you're ever in or around West Virginia and you need something to do, this park is probably the best option around. This park continues to remain within the C tier. This is a park that actually exceeded my expectations. Dry Tortugas National Park, located at the very tip of the Florida Keys. From the outside, this park looks incredibly unremarkable. A 2-story brick fortress surrounded by sandy islands that barely crest the surface of the ocean. An observer might erroneously conflate this park with the likes of Arkansas's Hot Springs or St. Louis Gateway Arch. I believe, however, that this is a park that you have to see in person in order to truly appreciate. Be warned though, reaching the island is no simple feat. For most travelers, a boat ride is the most convenient mode of transport to and from the park. The only issue is that a trip to Tri Tortugas will cost you 2 hours on the sea. Oh yeah, it's 2 hours one way. Yikes. I think though that the isolation of the park actually plays to its advantage. If you were to be alone on these islands, the only sounds that you would hear are the few hundred seabirds which call the islands home and the endless churning of the ocean. This park provides the ideal desolate island experience. Fort Jefferson, the brick fort, stands as one of the few signs of human habitation and provides you with very limited shaded space on the island. Quick word of warning, you will need sunscreen if you decide to visit. Just trust me on this. The ocean is where you'll find the best part of Dry Tortugas. The tragic effects of chloral bleaching aside, the reefs surrounding the island provide a glance into the unique and diverse aquatic ecosystem. Dry Tortugas National Park provides an interesting fusion of human history and natural beauty. I highly recommend this park to anyone who can withstand the ocean. Unfortunately, this park didn't provide enough to get a whole tier advancement. I will, however, move it from a mid B flat to a B+. The next and final park that I would like to discuss is the one and only Shenandoah National Park. Even though I visited this park before, multiple times in fact, I originally wasn't expecting to have my perspective be changed. After my third time visiting, I have decided to upgrade Shenandoah to the C tier. Here's the reason why. When I initially tiered Shenandoah, I was basing it partially off of my negative experiences with the traffic and weather. Those elements worsened my experience in the park and made me have hostilities towards it. After my most recent visit, I now realize that D tier was far too harsh. Now I did just barely put it in D tier, so an improvement was always a possibility. I believe now though that the park's true potential can only be met when there's not a lot of people there. In periods of lower tourist numbers, you can truly experience the beauty which the park always possessed. People ruin the experience. And also weather too. Because of the special detriment that tourists put onto the park, I don't think that I'll upgrade it anymore. Though I was definitely too harsh on the park in my first assessment, this park still has a lot of inherent flaws. As a result, this park will end up barely squeaking into the C tier. Those are all of the parks that I want to talk about for right now. I'm aware that this is a primarily gaming focused channel, so I often put national park related content to the wayside. The simple truth is, however, that it's hard to talk about national parks without visiting them. For most parks, you can only get the full experience by immersing yourself within the park. Therefore, I feel like it's inappropriate to discuss parks which I have no experience with on a deeper level. With that being said, I will still try to make more national park related content if that's what you guys want. I think that it's time to end this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see others like it, please consider liking and subscribing. It takes 5 seconds to do and will mean so much to me. Thank you all for watching, and bye!